Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. A few months ago, my wife and I took a vacation to eastern Canada, up above Maine, and we visited the area, very old area of Canada that we'd heard great things about. I even got a chance to visit my buddy Rob Costman while I was there. I'll put a link to Bob Costman. If you haven't seen his videos, I'm sure you have, or his website. I'll put a link for that in the description box. But while we were there, we've discovered this artist called Maude Lewis, and she had juvenile arthritis, but despite that, she lived a pretty good life, and she made these very simplistic pictures, and we fell in love with them, and we picked up one at the art gallery while we were there. In fact, we visited the art gallery twice to go and see more of her stuff again. But today, I'm going to be making a picture. My friend Stan at the framing place made that mat for me. Now I need to make a picture frame, and I have some special old wood, old weathered wood that I think would be perfect for this, because her husband, Everett, actually, we're told, made some of the picture frames for her during their lifetime together. So that's the project today. Let's jump right in. So here's the wood that I'm working with, and it's beautiful, old weathered grade wood. I just love it. A little bit of checking, little on the rough side, but check this. Look at it. Look at the side of it. Now this one is not that bad, but you can see here that that wood is, you can kind of see, you know, there's the back of it, for example, and the sides of it are not weathered the same. In fact, some of these are really, they're super rough. I can't really use that. It just looks, it's going to look weird as a frame. So here's what I've done. I've taken one piece of this as an experiment. You can see this was broken on the end here, and I've cut off a strip like this, and the point with that is that if you can take that, so if I make a frame 2 inches wide, then I can glue this on. So I'm sort of gluing long grain to long grain down there, and look at that, it looks beautiful. So the first thing I had to do with all of these boards, I've checked them all for nails. There's no nails in them, but because these edges are really rough, and I don't know if there's rock chips in them, now I'm just taking the wire brush and just cleaning up all of those. So I started off by cutting off all of the pieces that were sort of irregular. You can see that each one of these is different, and that's because these nail holes were at different places throughout all of these boards. So these are my offcuts. These will eventually become parts of the edges. So now I'm consistent that I can cut all 2 inches on all of these. These two will be the long parts of the frames. These two will be the short sides. But if you look at these closely, you'll see that they're up and down. There is no consistency at all in these. This one here is not even barely half an inch. This is 3/8. They're all over the place, so I'm going to have to thickness some of these after I cut them so that I can make them all at least 3/4 of an inch thick, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. I've set the table saw blade to 2 inches, so I can just run these all through together now. Okay, now this is really turning out to be a lot of work. If you look at this, one of these boards, I've got two perfect boards here. This one here, and look at, they're not even the same thickness, which is typical of pallet wood. I mean, it's just garbage wood, but I'm sure that's what this is. But if you look at this one here, it's wobbling back, it rocks back and forth like this. So what I'm going to do, because I need to make it thicker, I'm going to have to glue a piece onto the bottom. Well, as you can see from the last video, I finally figured out I could use my planing jig to plane this wood to make it nice and even all the way along. But that only solved one problem because the wood had arcs and bows in it. So I still needed to make it nice and flat. So what I did is you can see that I've glued it to some oak that I had here. So it's nice and flat. And I clamped it, when I did the gluing, I clamped it to my workbench because it's nice and flat. And now, guess what? I have a perfectly flat, look at that, perfectly flat piece of wood that I can now make a picture frame out of. I still have the edges that I need to do, but now it's nice and flat. And now that that experiment worked, I've got other ones to do. So I'll quickly show you what's going to happen here. So I started off by gluing or taping some parchment paper to my desktop or my workshop bench here because I don't want to get glue everywhere. So this is a nice flat piece of oak, and now I can go ahead and I'm using a spatula. I did a tips video on this, just taking the head off a spatula, and it's silicone so the glue doesn't stick to it. Super easy to clean. I really like it because it's really nice and flexible for things like this. Now the other thing that I'm going to do, I've got my pinner here and I've got lots of room on here, so I'm just going to stop it from sliding around in the glue by just pinning the very ends of it. That's all I need to do. Okay, now I can take that and glue that down. That'll be nice and flat. You know what? It's working really well. So I'm just going to carry on and do all of these and put... Okay, so I finally prepared all of my veneer strips, and you can see them all here. You can see them laying over there. These are the sides, and you can see just how nicely that blends in there. There's the top of that one, of course, not glued yet. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be gluing, or what I'm going to be doing, and I am going to be gluing. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use my finger in this case because I think that's the best way of sort of putting the glue on, and in this case, I really don't want any squeeze out. What I'm going to be doing is, and I have a little bit extra room, I've done that on purpose. What I'm going to do is tack that with my pinner. I'm going to tack it on both sides, and then I'm going to use, of course, painter's tape to strap it down or to tie it down. I actually got that reversed there. That's the one that I wanted. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cut all the angles on all the sides of the picture frame. I have my drafting square here. I've just verified that it's perfectly at a 45-degree angle. What I'm going to do is readjust the jig on my miter gauge, the duplicating extension here, and I'll be able to run all of those pieces through at a perfect 45-degree angle. Okay, well, now let's see if these all are going to actually line up like they should on my squaring jig here. Oh yeah, perfect. Well, and there's my picture frame all glued up, and these edge joints here, these corner joints I've actually tested these in the past, and when you seal the end grain like that and then glue up, it does create a very, very strong joint. So I have no qualms for something like this, especially for a picture frame. So next thing I need to do is you can see that I have some bare wood in here. And I have some veneers left over here. What I need to do is trim them down to size and fit them in there. And that'll be a little bit of a tedious job, but I'll show you how I'm measuring and how I am putting these together. So the first thing I need to do here is to measure accurately the inside. And I'm just using my stair gauges. I think I showed you that in a video not long ago. And that I can use on these two steel rulers here, and that gives me an exact length, so I can now cut my veneer here to that exact length, and then I just need to trim it down and glue it on. It's nice and straight and flat there, so that should be pretty easy to do. And you've already seen the gluing process, which is no different than the first part where I was gluing them on the outsides of the frame. And this way I can glue the insides using pretty much the same technique. Well, that concludes my video today, and I'm absolutely thrilled with the way this frame turned out. And if you know any of the history of Maude Lewis, I think you would agree that this is kind of fits her sort of lifestyle, her and her husband Emmett. And he did make picture frames for her, so this is sort of what my interpretation of the style of what he might have made at the time. But during this process, I can't believe how many jigs I used, and I made this many years ago. This is a roller featherboard, and I love it because when you're using it, it rolls. It doesn't damage the patina on the wood if you've got something like that. And that's why I used this, but I had so much fun using it. I think I'm going to use it more often. I made a video on this jig. It'll pop up down here or over here or something. You may want to go and have a look at that. It just uses old roller blade wheels you can get at most thrift stores. So that concludes my video for today. I'm Colin Canet. Thanks for watching.